What's up, everybody? Welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. My name is X the Hero, and oh baby, have we got what you are looking for! This is level 337, which is a delightfully prime number, and it is also the year in which Roman Emperor Constantine the Great died, which isn't relevant at all, it's just a fun fact for you. Anyway, joining me this week, naturally, none other than ElroyOMJ. What's going on, my man?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good, I would say. I'm officially busy.
I saw that on the dock. That's all
yes,
it says.
it's official.
Officially busy.
I am officially busy. I'm sure I've talked about this in years past. The spring is just the worst for me. It's like the busiest time of the year for me because I got boys soccer officially kicked off this week. So I'm coaching yet again for 18 years straight.
Isn't this like the third year of those 18 that I'm not doing this next year?
Well, there's no one else to do it. It's you would think they would have found some hotshot young coach take over for me at some point, especially since up until last year, I can't say that I've really won a lot. So there's really it doesn't work like the real world, much like many other things where if you're not a super winning coach, you still keep going and keep doing it unless it's just really bad. But I mean, we've always been pretty competitive, but yeah, there's only so much you can do when the vast majority of your school population has never seen a soccer ball, much less played it. So,
oh man,
yeah,
that's what you're working with.
yeah. But there's that 10% in the school that have. So yes, that's where my team is. So besides soccer, I got a yearbook that I have to finish up. It's just all school stuff and senior stuff and this club FBLA that I do stuff with that, and it's just everything is in the spring. So it's interesting. And then I'm about to head off to Panama. So for my international travel.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah. So I'm about to go to Panama.
You can't just casually drop that one. Hang on.
Right. So that's spring break coming up. So going down to Panama, gonna do some whitewater rafting, some zip lining in trees and building a mud hut, surfing lesson, all this cool stuff. There's all kinds of, it's a fun little trip. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So I got a lot of cool things going on, but it is officially busy.
Sounds like it.
How about you, man?
Well, more on you. I said more on. More about you. You've been outed, so to speak.
Yeah.
Your school's website was unintentionally found in docs. Not that it was ever a secret or anything.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, if you missed it in Discord, Elroy teaches by some quantification at the most ghetto high school in Tennessee. So then we found his website, and the website is very nicely designed, by the way. The webmaster, Elroy, did a great job. But what I had not known about his website before, there's a slideshow of like 30 pictures just of students and events, and Elroy is in about 20 of them flexing.
I never noticed that until
I never noticed that, man. Not that I often go to, your school's website, but you sent me there a couple times.
Right.
And El's like, I bet Elroy's never seen these pictures before. I'm like, dude, he made the website. He put them there.
Yeah. Oh man, it was really funny for me reading through those posts that night that was in the Discord. I was like, oh yeah, I was just like exaggerating. Well, first that video that Rocker dropped on us where it said my school was the most ghetto school in in Tennessee, not Memphis, but in Tennessee. That was I just couldn't believe that. I had listened to it several times in a row. I mean, and considering the source, there's like no data whatsoever. I was trying to figure out what he was basing it on. It just sounds like it's just schools he doesn't like or something. I don't know, but it was
yeah.
It was just kind of funny. There was no factual information dropped in there in any way. And then when it turned to the website and said that I was flexing in every picture, I was like, really? And so then I went to the website. I was like, wow, actually, yeah, I am. I'm flexing in like every other picture. It's on the gallery wall there. So thank you for bringing that to the webmaster's attention. We'll try to address that and get some a broader range of non-flexing pictures in there. So yes, thank you. We're all getting improving here. So
I particularly enjoyed your teacher bio. I won't read the whole thing, but in Elroy fashion, it starts off with "Greetings, mortals." and it's just about as absurd as you would expect through the rest of it.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at that in several years. At the time, we were supposed to come up with something, so I just put something as evergreen as I possibly could on there, where it would never go out of style or anything. And then uh, I hadn't read it in years, and so I actually went and looked at it. My favorite part was the slideshow about Faces of IT. I'm not sure if you made
Yeah,
it that far or not. I was like,
yeah.
Faces of IT, what is this? And so it's like a slideshow, and it was basically just a possum, and it said that possums are really good at IT tech or something like that.
The whole thing was it really it actually that's not true. I was gonna say it told nothing, but it did actually. Here's what I teach. Here's what you'll learn. Here's what credentials you can get. It
Yeah,
was just absurdity on top of that. So
there you go.
that was fantastic. That was fantastic.
And that was a picture that one of my students had drawn of me. Is the picture?
Yes, the caricature
Yes,
of you at the very top.
it's one of my
I
soccer
love
players
it,
drew
man.
that. Yeah, so shout out to
I
Hector Martinez, who drew that for me. So
Sweet. Thank you, Hector.
yeah.
As for me, um, I have an ear infection going on right now, so I'm like
Oh, can
a
you hear me
little.
now?
I've mentioned in the past that headsets for my ears suck, so headsets give me ear infections, and I have one right now, so it's on the way out. But if I might have to go to mono speaker at one point through recording, but that's neither here nor there. My biggest update, Sophie Starfruit, my new cat. I feel
Mhm.
like every 2 weeks got to update. She came out of her shell basically. She
Mhm.
went from hiding and terror. She's just out and about, and her and Miku are best buds. I'll post some pictures in Discord. They're super cute together, but they click. They're besties just like that. So I have two awesome cats now instead of one awesome cat and one scaredy cat.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good, man. That makes life so much easier, I'm sure.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they're super cute together. Like I said, I'll post pictures, but they went from, who's this strange cat hiding in my house to, oh, it's you. Okay, come here. So it's awesome. And it's nice to finally not have to, like, close the door behind you. Whatever, don't make loud noises. So she just completely changed, like a full 180 from hiding in the corner to I'm ready to explore. I feel safe here. So that's my big update.
Well, I had an achievement fest, update. So last time we talked about achievement fest, it was mentioned that perhaps not a soul had shown any interest whatsoever in said fest, and but yet I still
I
pushed for.
forgot. Yeah, you got
Yeah,
my hopes up. I was like, oh wait,
yes,
oh no.
yes. So as you might have seen, all of a sudden, some people started mentioning the wonderful festival and how they might be attending, and that doesn't include the DMs, which I actually got some this time. So there's several
Hey,
people that
so
direct
we
messaged
just
me.
had to guilt them into
Exactly. They
it.
must. So yeah, the people started coming in and actually showing some interest. So that was kind of uh, lit my fire a little bit brighter there. And so today we were supposed to record. We're recording a little later, and so I decided, I'm going to be recording today, and I don't want to come in here empty-handed without some kind of update of some sort on this, other than that people actually reached out to me. So I stayed later and was able to meet with the principal about it and kind of iron out a few things. And of course, I had to talk to the financial secretary, and so we ironed out a few things, and I think we got it all figured out. And I am here to tell you breaking news. An achievement fest is going to happen. It's going to happen, man. I don't know if it's the
Like
achievement fest
it. Okay.
or it's either the achievement fest or an achievement fest. I don't know. I got to get with the guy that ran the last one and see
Who
if
who
it's
does run that?
Futiles. And
Futile. That's right.
yeah.
Duh.
And so I don't know if he had other plans, and if so, then there may be another Chief Fez. I don't know, but and then if there is one, then I may have to reconsider and then just defer. But my understanding is that there was nothing planned, and which sucks. And so I don't know if he wants me to take the banner of Achievement Fest, or we're just change it to something else and had to do our own thing, as in just Chivo Fest or not Achievement Fest or whatever we want to call it. But some kind
Elroy
of
Fest.
Yeah, right.
Flexing fest.
Flex fest.
Achievement flex. That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Achievement flex.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's strong. Achievement flex. Oh man.
That has potential. I just made it up, but I
That,
dig it.
that's I have to put that one in the thought bank there. But yeah, so I should have more updates soon. I literally just found out. That's why I'm running behind today.
Aha.
But
Oh, all right. Hang on. He told me, he's like, hey, sorry, I'm running a little late. I'll have a good reason once they're okay. There we go.
yeah, that's so I wanted to, not come in empty-handed, and I true to form, I found something out. So I haven't had a chance to get with Futile and figure out, what exactly how we're going to brand it and everything. And then I'm gonna have to set up a few things on my end. And but yeah, it's if you're planning on it, you might start reserving that weekend, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen at this point on that weekend.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, barring that there's another Achievement Fest somewhere else that weekend that I'm just completely oblivious to. But given that there hasn't been any updates in the Achievement Fest Discord since forever, I assume that there's no plans at this point. So anyhow, there you go. You heard it here first. We're gonna do something, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'll start posting pictures and stuff and giving updates on a regular basis. But I'm really excited for it, and I think we'll have a good time. We'll have to,
Nice.
if you had some ideas for some things we can add into the itinerary and whatnot, if you want, we can see if we can work some ideas into it. So if you have some cool ideas, let me know. If you want to be a part of it somehow, let me know. But there you go. That's my update on that.
That's cool, man. And if you guys haven't seen pictures of Elroy's classroom, classroom isn't the right word. Like, 30 desks and a teacher desk and a filing cabinet. It's not a classroom. He's the computer teacher slash yearbook slash pull. Like, it's a big space.
It is.
It's cool, man. I'm super excited. I don't know if I'll make it out.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hike for me, but that's awesome.
Right. I literally have about half of a floor almost. Like my room is almost the size of the cafeteria. Well, maybe not quite that big, but it's getting there. Small cafeteria size. But I have 3 offices attached to it. All 3 of them are about the size of a classroom. So it's like a classroom with 3 classrooms attached to it. And I have plenty of space. I got like a pool table in one. I got a nice cage I just added that it's like a squat rack, if you will, and / pull-up bar, and I got a bench there. So if you want to get some gains, come down and get some gains.
You'll say get your gamer score and your gains.
Yeah, get all of those gains.
I'm rolling with it, man.
Yeah, I really like this theme here. We can make this happen. And but yeah, it's I'll start posting some pictures as soon as we get. Now, I do have one other update on that front, is that at some point, for the first time since I've been there, which is 18 years, I'm supposed to get like some new furniture this year.
Ooh.
So that should be in place for Achievement Flex or Achievement Fest or whatever we call it. It'll be pretty cool. It'll be some really nice furniture that really add to the room. So get rid of some of the raggedy stuff, and yeah, it should be a really cool experience. So yeah,
I don't know. Have you seen these gamers? Maybe you want to keep the raggedy stuff until
we could just leave it out and say, just take it with you on your way out the door.
Right.
And there you go.
And then put the new stuff in.
Yeah, like a lot of it is stuff that my wife, she had a silent auction at her old place of work. They were getting rid of some of their old crap that was crappy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just bid like $1 on all these rolling chairs, and nobody else wanted them. And so I have like all these mismatched like rolling chairs that were like $1. And I think they're pretty nice. There's like an upgrade.
Hey, they get the job done, right?
Right, yeah. And like all these desks and crap. Like I'm doing a makeover, but yeah, so there's that. And then, so more updates coming. But again, if you're excited about it, let me know, and I'll be rolling out some more information on it soon. So again, I just found out about it, so I haven't had a chance to set up a single thing on it. But there you go. And I had one more update, which was my murder party.
Oh, most importantly,
yes. So on the murder party, I went as Danny Mund, as you might remember, and Danny was a gangster that liked to wear diamonds. Danny I also like to wear diamonds on his teeth, and so Danny, that wasn't in the
Oh my god, I
script.
forgot about the grill.
Yes,
That's right. How could
that
I
wasn't
forget?
that
How could
wasn't
I
it.
forget?
Right. That wasn't in the script. That was me artistic interpretation
There we go. That's
of the
right.
character. I spent a good 10, 20 minutes trying to figure out how the hell am I supposed to get this thing into my mouth. And so it was like a piece of plastic, and then of course the grill itself. And so obviously we're going to stick it all in a microwave and heat it up because metal and whatnot. But the way the process works is that you heat up some water. So this is for all of you that have wondered, how do you put a grill in? So you heat up some water, and then you insert the plastic spacer thingamajiggy into the grill, and then you submerge the grill into the hot water for about 20 seconds. And then you remove it, and it makes the plastic very malleable. Is that the right? I'm struggling with the way you say
Malleable.
malleable. Okay. And so then you slide it over your teeth and hold it in place for a good um, I don't know, 30 seconds, minute, something like that. I forget what the time was. And then it should be in place. And then you're good to go. And then you can put the other one in, and then you got matching, top and bottom grills.
And you are grilled.
Right. And so in theories, that works great. And everything goes as planned. What they didn't tell you is that they don't really stay on that good, or maybe I just have weird teeth. I don't know. So I did everything the right way, and I can get those bastards to stay on my teeth or anything. And so I had to kind of change up my character a little bit. So I was Danny Mund, the gangster that loved diamonds and who also had a speech impediment. So I spent the entire the entire night. I sold this character. Danny Munn would get up and talk, and he'd be like, yes, yes, yes. It was so over the top. Just
Sounds
oh,
like you have no teeth.
right. Like I was trying to hold him in place. So, so, oh man, I should have grabbed him, and so I could have done the accent for him. Maybe next time I'll do a Danny Munn impersonation for you. But it was like I turned into like a southern. I don't even know what character I became. It became like a southern sheriff that with a speech impediment or something. It was the most bizarre thing. There was, some drinks were had, and so that made it a little bit worse. And
Or
but
better.
yeah, or better. I don't know, but man, I saw that character. And so the way this one worked is that you drew an envelope at the beginning, and one of the envelopes had the murderer. You're the murderer, so you have to read the lines in your script if people ask you questions that have to do with you're the murderer, basically. Wouldn't you know it? Freaking Danny Munn was the murderer. And so the murderer was this southern sounding speech impediment having gangster with a grill in the wrong century, wrong 20s. But it was a hoot. Everyone loved the character, and it was really funny. And but yes,
Were you identified as the murderer, or did you get
not
away
a
with it?
soul thought it was me. No one could take
Who
me
would
seriously.
suspect that
No
guy?
one could take me seriously enough.
You're
So yeah, it was really funny. Everyone had a good time. So if we do another dinner party, I'm going to go as Danny Mund dressed up as whatever the character is. So like let's say it's a high seas, pirate whatever themed murder mystery party. I'm going to go as Danny Munn dressed as a pirate. So it's going to be a character on top of a character. It's how I would think
Wow.
Danny would.
You getting into
Yeah,
quite the method acting, right? Character within a character.
indeed.
What's the
But
line from Tropic Thunder? I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
yes, I love that movie, by the way. I don't remember any quotes from it, but I just remember you just couldn't make that movie anymore. That was it hit at the right time. So
It sure did.
yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm not politically correct kind of guy, so I love that movie. That was funny. Yeah, that's so anyway, that was all the updates I had. Oh, but the good news was that it wasn't the reverse problem. I would much rather have to speak with a speech impediment rather than have to speak with my dentist about why I need these things removed from my teeth.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So that was not the issue. So there you go. So that's all I got to say about the murder mystery party.
All right. Sweet. Well, you were playing your character games. Why don't we dive into some video games?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Which brings us to our game chat of the week. That was a pretty good transition, if I do say so myself, actually. So this week, I I was going through my like what do I want to talk about? Because I've been playing Tales of Grace's F remaster, but I'm like, I don't think Elroy wants to hear me talk about another JRPG. I don't
Nope.
think any of the listeners are actually going to play Tales of Grace's F remaster.
Nope.
So I was like, let me what's something else? And then I saw it was like, oh, I haven't talked about this one yet. This game is a
Mhm.
blast. I am talking about none other than I forget the subtitle of the remaster. Hang on, what the heck? Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. I forgot the Full Clip
Ooh.
Edition part. So yeah, Bulletstorm. It was originally on 360. It came out in 2011, and then
Hmm.
it got a remaster in 2017. Um, do we? That goes back to the topic of do we need remasters of 6-year-old games from one generation prior? We don't need to revisit that.
Yeah, we've answered that. Mm.
Right? Yeah, it's right. They we know that they did their research. That is all we can say.
That's right. Yeah, it's very important.
So the full clip edition, obviously coming from PS3 and 360 to Xbox One and PS4. There's also One X enhanced, so it looked even better if you had the One X. But anyway, has obviously improved visuals and textures, higher resolution and frame rate. As far as I'm aware, it maintained a stable 60 FPS. It wasn't 4K. I think it aimed for 2K, 1440p. I don't care about such things, but it looked really good. It had all the DLC included, and then it had a new Overkill campaign mode, which basically you just start the game with all the guns instead of unlocking the new guns as you progress through the campaign. You just have them all from the beginning. It doesn't change too terribly much, other than helps you with some of the skill shots that I'll talk about in a little bit. That's the key to the game. And then perhaps the most, I don't even know what word to use for this. The game, the remaster came with a Duke Nukem voice pack,
Oh my.
where instead of playing the game as the main character, your character's name is Grayson Hunt. You play as Duke Nukem instead. The gameplay is otherwise identical, except your character is Duke Nukem, voiced to sound like Duke Nukem and talk like Duke Nukem. But the immersion is kind of lost.
Does it change the lines? Like, is he doesn't just say the lines that the original character would say, right?
No, that's what I'm
He
saying. He
actually.
says Duke Nukem unique lines that Duke Nukem
Oh,
would say,
okay.
but the
Oh,
immersion
nice.
is lost because the other characters say, "Hey Grayson, what do you think?" But you're not
Oh,
Grayson, you're Duke.
uh,
Yeah, so
it
it's again, I don't know what word to use for that. It is a feature.
it's a good thought, but poor
It's
execution.
yeah, basically they got Duke Nukem's voice actor or whoever to do lines for the game, but they didn't get the other characters to come back and redo lines to line up with having Duke Nukem. So it's a cool idea. It works about 60% as well as it should. It's still over the top and it works really well. So, do you know anything about this game? Have you heard of it? Are you familiar with it?
Um, I'm not familiar with it at all. I like what you've told me already, in the sense you had me really at Duke Nukem, but
He's easy to please.
I look forward to it. All I saw was that it was on sale for basically a fraction of what it normally costs, so I went ahead and bought it.
Oh, did you really? Just like that? I haven't even
Yeah,
discussed it yet. He's
you
right.
you
If
sold me.
you listen to this on the day it comes out, it's $40. It's currently on sale for $4. So if you're listening a little late, that doesn't help you. But yeah, right now it is on sale for $4. It is
That's all I
absolutely
need to
worth.
see.
It's absolutely worth $4. So anyway,
It's also, speaking of 4s, it has over a 4 on the crappy TA rating system, so
it does actually. I was going to talk about that. It has a 4.02. It is pretty well received. I think the original was equally as well received. Um, So yeah, it's pretty well received. The plot, I'm not going to spoil the details. You, it's I gotta spoil a little bit here, just the first like 2 missions, okay? You guys know I don't like spoil it games here. So it starts off seemingly like any other gritty military first person shooter, right? Um, it's very serious, like use your flashlight, where's your TACCOM, check around the corner, right? And then by mission 2, you realize that this game is not at all a serious military shooter. Um, so basically, the first mission goes wrong to keep it generic. Um, and then you get drunk and then you go on just this wild adventure basically. You meet up with some friends, some former acquaintances, some of them you like, some of them you don't. The plot, I mean, the game, it's going to take you 10 hours to play through, the story. So it's not a long game, typical FPS, but the story is just well done because everything about this game is meant to be just a deliberately over the top parody of like Call of Duty and stuff. So Call of Duty is like, oh, be serious, duck and cover and don't get shot and oh no, toss a med kit and whatever. And this one, hey Foof, it's kind of like Doom in the sense that you don't want to take cover. The game very much encourages you to be out and about and shooting your enemies, and that's kind of where the over the top comes from. Like if you get in cover, like I can't say half of the insults unless you're really good at bleeping, but I won't put you through that. The game is just vulgar, is in terms of its language to say the least. Um, so yeah, if you try and get in cover, they will insult you. The game insults you for playing it
Oh,
safe.
nice.
So you just gotta run and gun. And how that works, this is the key to the gameplay, as I mentioned a little bit ago, is the skill shot system. So very early on, you get um, a whip, basically, that you have a gun in your right hand and the whip in the left hand, and you can use that to it's pretty cool actually. You can pull enemies towards you, you can flail them, you can swing them around, like you can lasso them, and that is where the core of the gameplay comes from with this loop system and then creating the skill shot. So if you think like Tony Hawk where you get points for doing, better tricks and combos, there's a point system in the first person shooter and you are rewarded for just being absurdly over the top in how you kill your enemies. So, that's great. Do a headshot. Whoop-de-doo, you can do a headshot in any game. What's way cooler than that? Take your chain, your whip, whatever you want to call it, pull a guy towards you, and then you have a kick button, and then kick him into a cactus, and the cactus then impales him. You get good points for that. But then grab your flail and pull this cactus with the corpse on it, and swing that around and throw that at somebody, and then you get a reward called gangbang for killing 2 enemies with a cactus. Like it's just things like that are the nature of the game. It tries its best to just be absurd and crude, and again, I keep saying over the top, but that is really all I can think of it. It's very much it's just very tongue in cheek, the whole game. It's a parody and a celebration of FPS, right? It's I don't know, like I can't say half the things. It's full of just foul language and like offensive jokes, kind of like Tropic Thunder. I don't think actually they could make this game today. One of your companions is Asian, so they just throw every Asian stereotype and insult in the book at you know, it's yeah, the dialogue is fantastic if you're okay with that kind of stuff. If you're easily offended, avoid this one for sure. Um
Well, how did I not know this game exists? This
it's
this sounds like a game right down my alley. I just wish they had, like, a whole series, like, take on every genre.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I mean, it's in the sense of if you remember Shadow of the Loot Box, how that was
Oh, yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
self-aware.
Yes,
The
yes.
humor is done like that. Like, it has playground insults to, like, absurdist threats, um, but it's not even just like, I'll say it, and then, like, it just happens, like, the characters react. Like, what I'm trying to think of one that is, like, podcast friendly. Um Koosh, I'm sorry if you don't like this one. So you see something, and then basically you're like, "Oh man, the things I've seen down there will turn your butthole purple." And then someone responds like, "Isn't it already purple?" He's like, "I don't want to know what you've been through." Just like stupid humor like that, like things like that. Um, like the big boss steps out, you're like, oh, son of a butthole. Like it's a lot of toilet humor too and things like that. Um, yeah, it's a good time. It really is. The gameplay is a lot of fun though. You have like I said, the skill shot. So there's just like general ones, like kill two enemies with one explosion or whatever, and then there's skill shots specific to your guns. You have your standard pistol, you get a shotgun, you have a flail gun, which is two grenades tied together with a shoestring, your sniper, a bouncing gun, and then my favorite gun in the game is called the Penetrator, which if you've played Gears
Of
4,
course it is.
of course it is, right? You shoot a drill is all that is. Um, but like I said, the skill shots are the key of the game. So if I may share some of these skill shots with you, they range from pretty simple to you have to go out of your way to do them. So with the Penetrator, what other gun would I share examples from, right? Breakdance, drill an enemy into the ground. Fantastic, drill an enemy into the ceiling, and he will spin around on the ceiling as the drill
Nice.
continues to spin. Um, Root canal, headshot an enemy with the Penetrator. Twisted, fire a drill into an enemy, but he dies from some other means. The shot doesn't kill him. Mile High Club, shoot an enemy with the Penetrator and launch them into the sky without killing them. Shish Kebab, impale two or more enemies with a single drill. It, you know, it just sort of. Do I even want to say the next one? Of course I do. Drildo! Ram two or more enemies during a slide with the charged penetrator. Wow. So, again, playground humor and things of that nature as you go through the game. But that's what it's all about. It's just a silly, stupid, fun, does not take itself seriously kind of game. And
Mm.
I feel like we don't have a lot of those. Like, if you think the military shooters, they're all like, bro macho and bro this and bros of war and bro of duty. And then there's this one, which, which is what it is about all I can say there. Uh,
I must say that there's no less than a 15% of the achievements or didn't even know are achievements. So we got some enforcer, hoarder. I don't know. Went through all of these.
Did
Extinguisher,
you go through all that? Yeah. Uh, so
barber.
as for the achievements, that's what I was going to get to next. Actually, it's a really good list. Actually,
Yeah, it
so
is.
there's stackable difficulties. You can play very hard right off the bat if you want to. I of course played on very easy, so I got that achievement. But they are stackable. You only need one playthrough. You get a story achievement for every level, and then within every level, there are also some like actual achievements that you could get, like random tasks that you would have to do throughout that mission. Um, at the end of this level, kill all the enemies on the walkway before the explosions do is a good one. Kill
Mhm.
a burnout using the helicopter that arrives. Before it departs. Kill a boss using the hot dog cart. You'd have to go out of your way to do them, which is always appreciated. Some of them are pretty
Mhm.
easy. Some of them are quite difficult just based on the ratios. And then there is also what the heck is it called? There is multiplayer. There's a couple multiplayer achievements in Anarchy mode, which should be pretty easily boostable. Um, Score at least 40,000 as a team in the multiplayer. That's just do your skill shot combos, kill a mini boss, 50 team challenges. Reach level 30 seems to be the only grindy one, which is just playing a
Mhm.
lot. It seems like it goes up pretty quickly, but it's not too bad. And then I don't know if this is unique to the remaster or not, to be honest, but there's Echo mode, which is you replay the campaign missions or sections of them, but with different criteria. So like,
Mm.
play through the final boss, but you only have your pistol and flail or something like that. So it's like a challenge mode. There are achievements tied to that. They are kind of tricky. I didn't bother with a lot of them. Just I kind of just went through the campaign and enjoyed it as it was. I was like, I think if I go for some of these harder achievements, I might not enjoy the game as much. So with that, my advice is, unless you're like a god at first person shooters, maybe don't go in with the mindset that I need the full completion here. I ended up with 390 gamer score for 789 TA, so still a 2.0 ratio just for playing the campaign, but the whole game is just shy of 4,000 TA. So the whole game, those bonus objectives, is where most of the ratio comes from. So, keep that in mind if you're into those stats and whatnot. But as far as the gameplay goes, if you like first person shooters and you want something that is just a very unique spin on the genre and doesn't take itself too seriously, and you're okay with absurdist humor and some racial slurs and playground insults and some foul language and lots of over the top gore, and yeah, you'll have a blast with Bulletstorm. Even the name, if you think of it, is kind of absurd, right? A Bulletstorm. Uh, the the last thing I point out is I mentioned the gore. Like if you play like Gears of War, you'll chainsaw the guy and the blood spatters on the screen. It's sort of like, oh my goodness, this is just again over the top for the sake of being over the top. You flail a guy in the arm and then you rip off his arm, and it just spurts like streams of blood, which you can then like use to like paint the environment with your flail, just the blood spurt. Like it is again, it's just intentionally, let's just be as extra, as the kids would say, as we possibly can. And they knocked it out of the park. They knew what they were doing. They went for it, and they did it. They delivered. So
It sounds like you're threatening us with a good time here.
I am
So,
threatening you with a good time. Absolutely what I'm doing. Um,
man,
that is absolutely what I'm doing, man. Um, yeah, the
I'm
the
impressed. This is good.
I guess the one achievement I'm looking through my list, if I could go back and do it, is get 100% of the skill shots. There's 131 of them in the game. I got the achievement for earning 75% of them, and I remember being very close. There were just a couple that I couldn't do because they're against bosses. So if you mess up, you got to do the whole level again to get to the boss. So I was like, I'm not doing that. Um, but yeah, like some of the ones I didn't get are those tricky ones. But again, there's like a lot of fun ones, some more examples. Vertigo, just throw an enemy in the air and then drop them. Fly Fisher, use your leash to pull an enemy into an explosive object. Voodoo Doll for kill an enemy with another enemy's dead body. Um, Hot Potato, um, you kick a grenade at an enemy, like you throw it and then kick it towards them. Again, it's just the names are fun, and the you wouldn't think of doing them, right? Like make two enemies collide with each other in midair, one from an explosion and one because you threw them. Like you wouldn't think of doing that, but it tells you to do that. It's like little mini in-game achievements, right? So throw a
Mhm.
grenade at this guy, it launches him up, grab another guy, throw him in the air, watch him collide, they explode blood everywhere. Like it's just so it's a lot of fun. It's just all I can do to describe it. It's just really dumb fun. And I highly, highly recommend it as long as you are not easily offended. So that's my spiel. That's Bulletstorm full clip edition. It's a blast, man. No pun intended.
Anytime you can get a game that's ranking on the crappy TA system is higher than the cost, then you're in good
True.
shape.
That's true. It's a 4.02 at a 399. Yeah. Oh, actually, one other thing that I
Oh,
forgot about, I have it on my list here and I accidentally glossed over it. Achievement hunters, you guys will like this, I think, maybe. There's collectibles,
uh,
and they're very self-aware collectibles. It's not like you find them and it has like, oh, this is an important story point. Like BioShock, for example, tells half the story through the collectibles, right? Gears of War gives a little insight through the cog tags that you find. This, you'll find a collectible and your character will say like, why the hell did I go all out of my why the hell did I go out of my way to find this? Like this is stupid. Like just completely acknowledging that these collectibles serve zero purpose and you are only finding them for the achievement. So it's self-aware, and there's lots of little just quips like that, just self-aware commentary on gaming tropes.
I'll allow it.
So my favorite one was I can't believe I forgot to say this actually. It's just the humor of the game. So you're in a room and You know how if you had a jump button, most games you could just jump over the and you could just get there. So you walk in the room and you're like, "Oh, we need to get to the other side." And then you do have a jump button. So you walk up and you try and jump over it, and it's just like maybe 2 frames too high for you to jump over, and your character's like, "Damn, shouldn't have eaten that burrito." Like, it got like, "Man, I totally could jump, like, why can't I climb over this?" Um, and then someone else is like, "I guess we'll have to climb through the ventilator." You're like, "That sounds really stupid. There's gotta be an easier way." Like, "No, no, the ventilator it is." So you go through this room basically from the left side to the right side, hop in the ventilator, and then crawl back across the room, hop down, and you're like, "Wait a minute, that didn't help. We're in the same room that we just came from." And then now the room is on fire though, and yeah, I'm spoiling little bits, but you're like, "We're in the same room that we just came from." And your buddy's like, "Yeah, but it wasn't on fire last time. Hang on a second." So then you shoot your way through, and in the gunfight, you destroy the obstacles that you couldn't jump over, and then you can just walk out the door. Like, it's just so self-aware and things like that. Like, why couldn't we just climb over this pile of garbage and walk out the door? No, we got to explore, and there has to be a very obviously
Mhm.
staged gunfight, and there's fire. That means bad things are going to happen. So it's that's the humor. It's just a ton of fun, man. I cannot recommend this one enough.
All right. Well, I wish they would maybe make a beat 'em up or something like that, and then
Like, yeah, you
I
have a
agree.
dedicated boot button. You can kick people,
Yeah, I mean,
kick them all you want. It's not a beat 'em up. It's a kick 'em up,
gore 'em up. That's pretty good.
gore 'em up. Yeah.
Actually, but there's so many things in beat 'em ups that you could just make fun of. Their publisher should contact me. I've played a few of them. I could give them some tips on.
He knows a couple.
Well, in the spirit of that, so this is for research so that when the Bulletstorm folks contact me, I'll be able to have a more thorough input on beat 'em ups to suggest to them. Because I know that I said that I wasn't going to do, any more beat 'em ups for a while, like 2 weeks ago.
But nobody believed you, so you're
Right,
fine.
and yeah, and so you shouldn't believe me again because yeah, I did another beat 'em up, but this time I did a little bit different. So last week I gushed all over about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I did end up getting the completion on that. So I forgot to mention that.
Sidebar quick. That was the most feedback we've ever gotten from you guys, and it was because we don't know what the hell we're talking about when it comes to Power Rangers. So thank you everyone for putting us in our place.
Yes, we had a feeling that we were
Yeah, I
treading
think we
in.
even said like this is gonna happen, and you
Yeah.
did not disappoint.
And I promise you that was, not by design, that was just I wanted to talk about the game because I enjoyed it, and, I mean, it could have been a game about anything, and I would have enjoyed it, so anyway, so speaking of which, we have another franchise so last week, I really enjoyed the Mighty Morphin. This time around, I'm gonna tell you how I didn't enjoy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants Unleashed. Okay, this is a TMNT beat 'em up game. It came out last year late and has, well, originally it had about 1600 TA, but now it's up to about 1900, which I will get to in a second. And it's pretty poorly received on the crappy TA rating system. I think it had like a 2.5 something, 2.57.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah. So why is it bad? Well, Nickelodeon, I guess, decided that they would take a page out of the Disney book, and so they decided, hey, here's this wonderful franchise that you can make a lot of money on. Let's just wreck it. So, welcome TMNT to the Star Wars, the Marvel, Snow White, all these wonderful franchises that have just been obliterated by the fine folks at Disney. Now TMNT joins the party, and I mean it's easy. It's a beat 'em up, right? So it's a beat 'em up. TMNT. All you have to do is just have Shredder like be up to some shenanigans, and then the turtles they go
That
beat.
is the plot for
Right.
all of them.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take over the world this time," and then the turtles go beat things up and advance stage to stage. Where, conveniently, there's always a boss at the end of each stage, which is pretty much the same group of characters. You always have a Bebop battle, you always have a Rocksteady battle, and then eventually you get to Krang, which oh, this must be the penultimate stage because I'm fighting Krang.
Right.
So, oh, I guess Shredder's next, and that's the
Right.
so the formula has not changed for 20 years, and you win. Then in the end, he throws a smoke grenade and then jumps out the window, and then the next sequel is made. And then you just rinse and repeat. It's easy. You print money with this concept.
And that is how franchises survive for 40 years.
Yes. Yes. And so enter this game. So all the other stuff, I actually kind of started getting excited about it when I was reading all that, because that's what a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle beat 'em up game is supposed to be. But this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. It's less beat 'em up and more let's talk about our feelings. So everyone in the game has like some major character flaws, which I realize a lot of people do, but every freaking character has these like major character flaws that they need to work through, and they want to talk about it with everyone they come in contact with. So it's kind of like that crappy Life is Strange game.
Hey, now.
Like it had a baby with a beat 'em up game, and out popped this turd, and this is it's a feelings 'em up. I don't know, that doesn't sound right. It's a talk 'em up. It's a talk 'em up. That sounds better than filling them up.
Before you go any further, did you see the movie? Oh shoot, the movie that used this art style? It was the animated one.
Oh God,
The
no.
Mutant Mayhem.
I hope
I think
that
it was
is.
Mutant Mayhem.
I didn't. I've never seen anything quite like that. But that's
Okay,
what I'm
so
about to talk about.
It was this universe, for lack of a better term, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was a really cool animated art style. You would hate the movie, don't get me wrong, but the animation is dope. And Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the soundtrack for it. It's basically Nine Inch Nails playing in the background
Wow.
of a kid-friendly Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay, well that's not this.
Well, no, it's the same. Like again, like multiverse of the Ninja Turtles, basically.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this art style. For me, I thought, that's an interesting art style. I wonder if they paid the 5-year-old with no opposable thumbs like a lot of money to draw these characters like they were missing chromosomes or something. Like I couldn't figure it out. It was like,
oh man,
April. Okay, April. Let's just take April. So as a child of the 80s, April was like looking pretty hot in that yellow jumpsuit.
April was hot. Come on, let's just say it.
Yeah. I mean, she had like, huge tracts of land,
personality.
All right, and whatnot. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed looking at April, growing up in the 80s and 90s, but not this April. This April kind of looks like an androgynous gremlin that is like every race combined into one. Is she black? Is she white? Is she Asian? Is she Latino? Yes.
Isn't she supposed to be Latina? Doesn't she speak Spanish?
Sure. She's everything to everyone. I don't know what was this character. I didn't see any Spanish being spoken. I don't know what.
I'm pretty sure she speaks Spanish in the movie, if I remember correctly.
I don't know about that. This she looked like a little gremlin kind of thing. I don't know.
Gremlin it is.
I have no idea what happened to poor April. Well, but I mean, it's not just her. I mean, all the turtles look like they had rickets or scurvy or something. Like they're all walking around like like their diet something was off in their diet. They all look deformed, and
I mean, they eat pizza. They're mutant.
I finally caught up to them. It looks like, but man, they're all walking around deformed, and all they want to do is talk about their feelings. What about the other characters? So, Leatherhead, right? Leatherhead's pretty popular in the canon. And I always enjoy Leatherhead as this Southern croc that just sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad, but he's always buff and he always, makes me laugh.
Yeah, and if you're listening and you don't know Leatherhead, just look at Ninja Turtles bad guys. You totally know Leatherhead.
Yeah, he's in like all the games, and he's usually a tough SOB. Well, enter this game. Why is Leatherhead a granny hippie? Like it's like an old woman with like peace glasses on or something. I'm not even sure what that is. Like, it's not Leatherhead. It's like Leatherhead's grandma or something. But they keep saying it's Leatherhead. I don't know what that was. And then why is Bebop look like Jabba the Hutt with nipple rings? Like, what is this? Like, and then he has like flappy man boobs that are just like distracting everything. Like, when he walks, like his boobs are flopping everywhere with little rings on them, and he looks like
The rings were a little too heavy.
yeah, he's really let himself go. And then Rocksteady just looks like a giant rhino head on a midget body. Like, it's totally would fall forward. Like, there's no way that that body can support this head. Like, all the characters just look deformed, like a 5-year-old drew them. I don't know what it was. The most bizarre art style I've ever seen in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. And they just
I just want to throw out there, I've been looking at screenshots. The animation style in the movie works really well. I don't know if I would go as far as you're going in your descriptions here. It does look a little off in the game. I will concede there's something. It's like Uncanny Valley looking at the characters. Just pull up the art style. I'll send you a link later if you want for the movie.
Okay.
And it looks quite good there. But
okay.
it didn't translate to video game very well.
No, it did not. At least not in my book. But so the art style is not good. Well, maybe the gameplay will save it. Okay, so let's talk about the gameplay. Well, the camera. It's like a first generation N64 type camera.
Man.
It's like it should be the main boss of the game. Like, you finally like turn at the camera and be like, I've had enough of you, and then you like battle the camera. I mean, it's so bad. I can't tell where I was going half the time. I mean, this is stuff that they fixed back in N64 when they first introduced it.
That's one of those things in modern gaming. We should not be dealing with camera issues in a game that came out in 2024. That's what the right stick is for. Spin the damn camera around.
Right.
I am with you on this one.
Right. I got the receipts. So there's this one place in the game where I was just like, this can't be real in the 21st century. This is not happening. You are facing to the right, you jump through a sewer door, and then the camera rotates, and I'm not sure what you're supposed to do, but you fall into the water because you're still jumping forward from the previous. You have to jump through the door, and as you're jumping through it, somehow rotate with the camera or something. I don't even know. It was the hardest part in the game. I could not make that jump to save my life. It was in this. I mean, it was just a transition between the stage as it's rotating
regular simple areas.
Yes, and finally it I guess I landed far enough into the next scene that it gave me credit that I had made the jump. And
you got the checkpoint there.
Yeah, but literally it rotates while you're midair and you're still going the opposite way, and I don't know, it was so poorly done. And then the other thing with it, but the whole game's like that, like, and they have several places where you have to rush. There's like a couple of speed stages. I mean, you're gonna think I'm just making this up at this point, but Bebop and Rocksteady
it couldn't possibly be that bad, but it really is.
Yes, you would think Bebop and Rocksteady, again, the formula. You just put them at the end of the stage and have to fight them. That's all you have to do. It's simple. No, they're your friends in this game, and they have a pizza delivery company, and with some weird other character, I think it was Manta Ray, which didn't look anything like the Manta that I remember from the comics, but yeah, they have a pizza business, and you have to deliver pizzas for them. They're like your employer, and so there's stages where you have to deliver pizzas in a certain time frame, and of course the camera is working against you every step of the way. Oh man, it was just like, what? I mean, there's just so much going on in this game that I don't even know where to start with it. And bells and whistles. I'm trying to stay. I could just rail on this game for an hour, but bells and whistles. So
it sounds like you.
I just hated everything.
You're just getting started here.
I hated everything there is about this game, and oh my gosh, I was. I'm gonna stay on point here. So. Bells and whistles galore. So the game has all this stuff in it, but you don't need it. It doesn't use it. So there's combos galore. So there's you can upgrade your characters. There's 4 achievements for upgrading characters in this, and each one has like 30 different combos at their disposal, which is great, except for you don't have any reason to use them because the game, you just walk up and just push X over and over again. You just, just smash X and you'll get through every single enemy in this game. They don't fight back, and they just stand there and look at you while you just kill them. Every once in a while they may, and then they're like light up and you have like a full second to get out of the way. And then, I mean, it's so bad, this game. There's no challenge in it. Why you have all these combos? They could have saved themselves so much programming time. Just don't even put the combos in. I don't think anybody even uses the combos. You just slash. It's just you're just going running through, just slashing constantly. And there's only a couple enemies in the game. From what I could tell from I do have something nice to say about this game.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there's a crap ton of cutscenes because there's a lot of feelings to talk about. Fortunately,
oh man,
you can skip most of it.
But you can do what you were gonna say, you jerk.
So, unfortunately, there's some you can't, and then I watched a few extra just so I would have a little further examples to tell you about why I hated this game so bad. I'll get to one of those in a second, but presumably from what I can piece together, the premise is that there's some kind of gas that's been released in the sewers, and then it's made some of these mutants angry mutants. All right. So they're normally good mutants, but since they got this, inhaled this gas, then it's not their fault that they're being bad. It's the gas's fault. See? And so that's the theme, is that everyone's a good guy. It's just this gas, it just makes them bad. Wouldn't it be the animals from the city if that's the plot? So that takes place in New York City or Manhattan. And why are all the enemies bees, hippos, and zebras? I mean, I don't know. Like, and there is there that many hippos, zebras, and bees running around New York City? I mean, I would have thought that instead of bees, they might use flies. I mean, maybe I don't know much about. I've been to New York City once. I didn't see a bunch of hippos and zebras everywhere, and I didn't get swarmed by bees or anything, but I did see a bunch of pigeons. I hear there's a lot of rats out there and probably some cockroaches, and I don't know what else natural wildlife in New York City, but seems like you would have all those as the main enemies, not hippos and zebras. Like, what is this?
If this is connected with the movie, spoiler for the first 5 minutes of the movie. Sorry, I was supposed to say that after I spoiled it, right? There's sort of their father, if you will, is experimenting on animals in an underground lab, basically. So he would have had a bunch of baby zebras and bees and like, suspension of disbelief, right? But that's
probably could have got a better deal on some stray dogs or cats or something. I mean, yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't know where one imports a bunch of zebra. What do you even call a baby zebra? We've gone over this with horses. I imagine it would be the same, right?
Probably, yeah. A foal,
right? Yeah, I was thinking that.
But probably has a Z in it somewhere, like Zafool.
Foals.
Foals. Right. Well, I think there's probably not any zebras left in the world. I killed them all in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed.
It is a foal, by the way. A baby zebra is a foal.
Okay. Well, of these enemies, they had different variations of them. So, for example, the zebra might have an electric eel for an arm on one stage, and that like, shocked the crap out of you if he ever used it. And then an octopus arm on a later stage that sprays ink on you. Again, you have to kind of wander around aimlessly before they attack you. Regardless, you rarely get to see them because they never attack you. So what they actually do, I do not know. Several of the enemies, but they kept introducing them like it was some big new thing. That this there was a bunch of praying mantises too. So there's that. I just remember that enemy.
I mean, a giant evil praying mantis would legitimately be terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, they are very. New York City's just overrun with them, so it's no wonder that was.
Damn.
Right.
Sounds like a good reason to stay away from New York City.
Right.
Check in like with all these wild mantises and zebras. Who else is in New York?
Hippos,
you're up there.
Yeah.
Just let us know you're okay.
I'd be pretty concerned about the hippos, to be honest, but I hear zebras are pretty mean, actually.
I didn't know that about zebras. You're right with the hippos. Hippos kill more people than lions in the wild.
I think, yeah.
Hippos will mess you up.
Yeah, zebras will too. So The game also has some kind of assist system, which you like push some button. I don't even really know what it is. I found it by accident, but it's apparently a big part of the game. So if you're playing with Leonardo, which I did like the whole game, like you can push a button, like one of the other turtles will do something. Like for Donatello, he like drops some crates everywhere that are full of health that you won't need because you won't lose any energy. And then there's some energy that you won't need because you're not doing combos. So Raphael drops like some size everywhere, and then I assume they hurt enemies. I don't know. I only found it by mistake while I was trying to get unstuck out of a wall. The camera like threw me right into a wall, and I got stuck in the wall. I couldn't get out of the dang wall, so I had to restart the stage. But yeah, the game has a night and day system. Again, it has no bearing on the game other than the stage is a little harder to see at night. The game also has like a countdown to complete things, but you have so much time, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't add like playthroughs or unique experiences where you have to choose a path or anything. No, there's plenty of time to do everything the game offers. And so, yeah, nothing there. And did I mention that you can't even give this game away? They recently added on free play weekends. Where you could play it for free. This was, I think, this past weekend they had it on free play weekends. And so I saw that and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see how this goes down. And because I had already played this game and knew it was a turd. So I wrote down at the time before it went on free play weekends, it had just over 300 gamers, tracked gamers on the game. Here they are offering a free play weekend on a $30 TMNT franchise game. You can just play for free, and it's not a long game. I mean, you can finish it one weekend. And I thought, oh man, how many people are going to take it? It ballooned to just shy of 400 track gamers. So less than 100, less than 100 people, and added it on their tag. And so why would this happen? Because it sucks. That's why.
It's that bad.
It's a terrible game. Why else? Because the first achievement isn't until approximately 2 hours into the game, and by then you realize it sucks.
People have already stopped.
Right, and you're like, no, this is not what I signed up for, and you abort before you put it on your tag. So I wish there was a way to see how many people started it and never got the first achievement, but alas, I don't know how to find that information. But even then, of the almost 400 people in this that have this on their tag, 217 have just one achievement in it. So over half of them have had enough of it just over 2 hours into the game. Why they didn't, stuck around that long, I don't know. But maybe they thought it got better. Spoiler alert, it didn't. So
it doesn't.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm looking at the developers, A Heart Full of Games. It's a cute developer name.
Oh, it sounds like a game to talk about your feelings.
I was like, what else have they done? They've done 4 games on Xbox, at least, according to TA. So the original game, Heart and Slash, seems to be their bread and butter. It's a roguelite beat 'em up.
Yep. I haven't got to that one yet.
I was going to say, you haven't played it, but
I'm concerned about that now.
Yeah. Well, that has a 3.08 star.
Okay.
Acceptable. And then they also made DreamWorks Spirit Lucky's Big Adventure.
Oh gosh.
A horse game for horse girls. It's 1.93 star. That's
a horse game for horse girls. I'm sorry. I'm just supposed to.
And then they also made
not horse face girls, just girls that like horses.
Yeah. Who else would play that game? Grown men hunting achievements and horse girls. That's who they made it for.
Yep.
And then their last game is DreamWorks Dragons, Legend of the Nine Realms, another licensed movie tie-in with 2.89 stars, which was then followed up by Ninja Turtles. So they don't have a great track record of quality. In fact, they have 4 kind of mediocre games, is what TA is telling me here.
That's fair.
Mediocre being kind as an adjective.
Right. They had a Teenage Mutant. I mean, I can't imagine how much they paid for the licensing fee on this game. They had it. They had the TMNT. You can make a beat 'em up.
That's it. Like that's the shortcut to you guys are a good developer. You made a Ninja Turtle game.
Yeah, and a beat 'em up. And I mean, what could go wrong? This is what could go wrong. This is everything that can go wrong.
It went wrong.
It did. It went sideways for sure.
Oh man.
Well, let me at least tell you a little bit about achievements before I stop talking about this turd. So 27 achievements, and 10 of those, yes, 10 of those of the 27 achievements are for making max friendship with all the exhausting characters that are in this freaking game. So yes, it's a friend 'em up, not a beat 'em up, a friend 'em up. And
Friend
so
what did you call it? A feelings em up.
filling them up, fillings them up. But yeah, you meet with these different 10 characters and you talk to them about your feelings. And you have to do this at 5 different points in the game with each character. And again, the only salvageable aspect of this is that you can skip most of the dialogue. But let me give you an example. At some point, you get access to a pool. Spoiler alert. And you can go to the pool, and on your first visit, Raphael walks in, and there's some chick with anger issues in the pool, and she gets all pissy with you because she thinks you're treating her weird because she has one leg. Wait, people judge you too? Says the turtle. Me too, yes, because I have one leg. Well, they judge me because I'm a mutant and I'm a turtle. +1 friendship. Second visit, the chick gets all angry again because she sucks at swimming since she has only one leg. Presumably, I don't know.
Little presumptuous there, but okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know she'd be pretty sorry in a butt kicking contest too. But wait, you get angry too? Well, I do too. I have rage issues, says Raphael. Friendship +2. This just keeps going. Like this is
This is
the
actual real dialogue you're reading?
so I'm paraphrasing, but
Okay.
that's pretty much what the conversation is.
Is it voiced at least?
Uh, I can't even remember. I don't think it is. I had it like turned down. So, oh man, yeah, I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Oh gosh, now you got me wondering, man. Part of me says it is. Part of me, I don't know. To the update section next time. Is it actually voiced? I can't remember. I skipped most of it, so I'm pretty sure that there is voice on this too. But yeah, it's just brutal, brutal. And so everyone has their own little issues, and you just kind of work them out with all 10. Yes, 10 of the characters. You have to have this emotional, draining experience. There's 7 achievements for beating the different bosses in the game, but they're not bad guys. Again, these are your friends. They're just on the juice, you see. They're not Shredder. Shredder is not any of these 7. Neither is Krang. Krang and Shredder are not any of the 7 quote unquote bosses that you will get an achievement for beating this game. No,
Shredder's not in the game at all?
Of course not.
What?
Why would Shredder want to talk about his feelings? So the bosses are just like friends of yours, become bad because they got that gas, that gas got in their nose and they kind of freaked out. And so then you got to beat some sense into them. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm so sorry about that. Let's talk about our feelings again. And then that's pretty much it. And then there's 4 character-based ones for upgrading all the combos you won't use.
Jeez.
And then there's a couple for collectibles, which isn't good because there's no level replay that I see. And I've looked and looked. I see no way to replay levels yet. I'm hoping that if you beat the game,
I was going to say maybe at the end of the game they're level select.
I'm really banking on that. And there's no way of knowing like which ones are missing that I see.
Oh, there's no tracking or anything?
Not per stage. Well, there's like tracking you have like some stupid cell phone interface that like half the features have no bearing on the game. But there's one little tab on it where it has how many of each canister. There's 3 types of canisters. There's damage canisters, health canisters, and assist canisters. And I think there's like 16 of each or something like that. So it just tells you like 10 out of 16 or something like that. And so you don't know where the other 6 are or whatever. I really hope it works out in the end. I really want to get a completion on this and be done with it so I never have to see it again. But yeah, it's if anything trips me up, it's going to be these stupid collectibles. There's another one there's like some graffiti tags or something that you have to go take pictures of with your camera or something. I hadn't even tried that one yet, but there is a video for that one. So I should be able to get that one. But these canisters, I'm a little nervous on them. Because they're not really like super hidden most of the time. Like you'll see them, it's pretty obvious that there's a side path to take. But I just can't imagine I made it all the way into the game without missing one somewhere along the way. I hope that it doesn't end that way. But anyway, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed. Don't play it. There you go.
Okay, well, I like that
That's
I
my
talked about a game that I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of,
yeah.
and you did the exact opposite of
Yeah.
that.
I enjoyed your game more than my game. I enjoyed living vicariously through you playing that game more
Oh
than I
man,
enjoy playing through this game.
that's that's not good.
No, that is not good. You're right.
Oh man. All right, well, let's transition to something a little more up your alley. It's not a beat 'em up, mind you, but it's a nice, easy baby game that I somehow have 40 more TA in than you do,
What?
which is interesting. Looks like I have one achievement that you don't have. The game in question is Aerial Knights Never Yield, which is like the game is called Never Yield, made by a guy named Aerial Knight. Like it's a little pompous. Like if like instead of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it was like what's the guy's name? Yves Guillemot Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Like that's why would you put your name in the title? You're like ElroyOMJ's TMNT Mutants Unleashed. Like, wow. Anyway, the game's called Aerial Knights Never Yield, made by Aerial Knight.
You put this as a baby game? This isn't a baby game.
This is a baby game.
This game's tough, man.
No, this game is not tough. I'm bad at video games.
No, this is a
Listen with
tough
me.
game.
I didn't
Uh,
know. Hang on. The full 1,000, perhaps, is not baby game worthy, but the 800 gamer score that you and I both earned is very baby-y? How do you make that an adjective?
and even of the 800 that we have, it averages out to a 2-point ratio.
But it
These
was
are
this was one games with gold, so it's inflated. Like I played this game for 1 hour and 54 minutes, and
okay,
I
okay.
have less than 2 hours, and I have 800 gamer score for a
Mhm.
very respectable 1581 TA. You're right, that is a 2.0 ratio on a baby game. What? But I 800 gamer score in 2 hours. I didn't find any of it particularly challenging.
Hmm.
I kind of had fun with it, I dare say.
Well, I guess I had a different experience. I remember fighting like I thought I did, but I'm looking. I only did 2 hours. I guess that's a really long 2 hours of my life. But I remember like really struggling with this
I thought it
game.
was I mean, it's not like, the best game I've ever played. It's not even in the top 100, but it's passable. It's just an infinite runner kind of, but it's not infinite. So a finite runner from left to right, you have to duck, jump over, and speed through things. Is there a slow down? Is there a fourth one? I don't think so. So there's just the three buttons: Y up top to jump over, A to slide under, and then B to dash through. And that's it. You just run, and things pop up on the screen in yellow, so you hit the yellow
Mhm.
button. Things pop up in red, so you hit the red button. It's a little harder if your controller looks like mine, where the buttons don't have colors, but you learn what they are. Um, yeah, you're right. The ratio is weirdly high as I'm looking, but it's definitely inflated. And like I said, 2 hours, 800 gamer score, 1600 TA. That's a baby game with a good ratio. How's that?
All right. Well, I mean,
There are two achievements that are damn near impossible. One is,
that
well, I
means
think play the whole game without dying, right? Like that's, or no, it's the bonus levels that are just insanely difficult. Yeah, no mere mortal is going to complete the bonus levels. And then there's one tied to that. You get an outfit for beating a bonus level. And then there's a title update for endless mode, which, yeah, screw that. That's 2 hours of, that's the infinite runner part. I'm not doing that, but just in the base game. 800 gamer score, 2 hours, baby game. Aerial Knights never yield. End of discussion.
you're so wrong on this. This is- you not only did you build it as a baby game, which at minimum it's a toddler game, but I
All
mean,
right, it's a toddler game. You gotta hit. It's three buttons though.
at minimum. But yeah, you can do a lot with 3 buttons, and this game about drove me crazy. And then I hadn't even tried the update to it yet. The update's just as I don't know. who knows? It's probably inflated from all the people that, didn't get back to it like myself. But I mean, I had such a bad experience in those long 2 hours, but I think I know a game to compare this to.
Oh, all right.
Bear with me here. I mean, there's other games like this, like the Top Run is a game like this, but which whatever. But I think a game in terms of like, some people have a different experience. Like some people are like, oh yeah, easiest game ever. And other people are like, God, no, 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 no. I think I put it in the same book as The Video Kid.
Okay.
You remember The
All right.
Video Kid?
Yeah.
If you're good at it, you can finish it in like an hour. And you're like, what's the big deal? Just throw it, hit all the ramps and be done with it.
And if you're not Walk-a-Pale,
right, then the rest of us, you're like, what? And you like really are gripping the controller hard, and you're like getting close to it. And it was like a very different experience. That game has a 2 to 3 hour completion on it, and it's only worth 1487 TA, so 500 TAD. But for 2 hours work, you would think, oh, that's very doable. But I mean, like for me, I only have half the gamer score in that game. I just couldn't do it, and I'm at 6 hours in. I don't know, it just something didn't click with the camera angle or something. I know it was supposed to be like Paperboy, but it just didn't work for me. And so Aerial Knights is kind of the same concept in my brain. I don't know.
it's my baby game of the week. I'm just throwing that out there. That's my baby game of the week. Hashtag deal with it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, my baby game of the week is
this better be a real baby game.
Yes, this one pretty much has all the makings of a baby game. It is freshly frosted and is not tough as anything. Where even though it only has 3 buttons, who cares? It's still tough and has a 2 ratio. No, this one is I'd say it's a very young toddler game, which I don't know. I'm reevaluating this grading system now. Now, if that's a baby game, then this is I don't know, a newborn game. I don't know. This one, I kind of had it as a young toddler game, just learn to walk or something. I really don't know anything about kids, so don't quote me on anything like that. But it's a 1280 TA. It's a puzzle game. The whole plot is that you're setting up an assembly line, and you're going to make a bunch of diabetes for the masses. And so the diabetes pops out. You spray some carbs on it, sprinkle some carbs on it, put it in a box looking like what was ordered, and you move on. And you just look up a video, and it shows you all the solutions to the puzzles, and you finish it in 2 to 3 hours, but an actual 2 to 3 hours, not like the 2 to 3 hours that you described.
You mean 1 hour and 54 minutes for 800 gamer score?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess I was finished with the Aerial Knights game in 2 hours, in the sense that I never wanted to touch it again. So why is it enjoyable? And again, this is freshly frosted. The voiceover work, I thought, of the lady was very pleasant. She just really is into diabetes and pontificates about all the kinds of stuff, and it doesn't come off as annoying or dumb. It's like very whimsical, and she sounds very delightful, like a very delightful, happy young lady. I don't know. She just brightened my day just by by the voiceover work. I don't know. It just breaks it up, because all you're doing is looking at a video screen and just building your conveyor belt the way it shows on the video. And so it's not overly interesting, and then she comes on and says something kind of whimsical, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then you just move on to the next stage, and then she says something else. It kind of keeps it, I guess, fresh, which is appropriate since it's freshly frosted. And then the second thing I really liked about this game is that the beats, man, the beats. Once you set it up, the beats. So once you set it up and tell it to run, it plays some killer beats. While the conveyors are running, it plays like this really catchy song, and like the diabetes is moving around on the conveyor belt, and it's like kind of like a upbeat techno song kind of a thing. I enjoyed it really a lot, and I guess other people did too. I mean, I would probably put it on my phone and just listen to it when not even playing the game. But
do you still have "Who Wants Toast" as your ringtone?
Of course I do.
Of course you do. What was I thinking? Why wouldn't he?
I haven't had a chance to change it. If you want to text me while I'm talking, then you could probably hear it in the background. But yeah, it has 2 achievements related to the music. There's one for basically maxing out the music and listening to it, and then also one for just letting it run for a while unnecessarily. You set up like an infinite loop, and then you just sit there and just jam out with the music. So that's pretty cool. I like that there's 2 achievements that are based on that.
I would say that definitely meets the criteria of baby game achievements for
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Right. Well, there's even more ones that are more so like there's 78 achievements in this game. Yeah, 78. 7, 8. There's 47 of them for progression-based stuff. So for like beating certain puzzles, such as box 12, puzzle 9, there's box 1, puzzle 1. That's one of the first ones you'll get. Box 2, puzzle 5. So there's 12 boxes. I can't remember the same number of puzzles in each box. I was, too busy jamming out to the music, but most of the other ones, basically you'll get those for going through the different options, like just exploring. I think there's one for looking at the credits, stuff like that, or doing something specifically wrong on the stage where you have it like go back into the wrong conveyor or something like that. And then there's some cumulative ones you get by the end of the game. Like there's one's called That's a Lot of Diabetes. That's for making 2,000 diabeteses. And then other than that, pleasant, easygoing game. It's $10, but you get 78 achievements out of it. So I would say buy it on sale and then just use it in a gaming comp that you get points for getting a lot of achievements in. So 78 achievements in 3 hours. That's pretty good.
I'm looking at the achievement list, and I'm a little disappointed that you didn't go into detail here. So Elroy said there's an achievement for watching the credits, which is kind of an understatement. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 achievements for watching the credits.
Shoot, you're right. I didn't even see that.
So
I forgot about that.
One is seeing 4 names pop up, and then you've made it through the quality assurance section, and then you've made it through the localization section, and the playtester section, and the special thanks section, and then the production kiddies section. How did you not mention the production kiddies section? And then all of the credits. Literally 7 achievements for watching 7 different parts of the credits. What?
Yeah, 78 achievements. Yeah, they add up. Yeah, 5 points here, 5 points there. So yeah, I totally forgot. I actually popped those 2 years ago, and so I just remembered like getting a bunch of achievements for going through the like the different menus. But yeah, I mean there's 78 achievements to look at. So yeah, I kind of missed a couple there, and yeah, but it's a cool little game. It's pleasant and peaceful.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, there was 2 baby games. I don't care who you're talking to. That was 2 baby games in my book. So, do we have any exciting Game Pass news to cap off the show? And the answer is Avowed comes out on February 18th, which is just a few days after this podcast will get released. Avowed, of course, speaking on behalf of many of us in the Discord, is our most hyped Xbox exclusive game for the foreseeable future. So I can't wait to play that. Do you have any Game Pass, whatever kind of news? I'm just reminding everyone Avowed comes out, and I'm so freaking excited for it.
I hadn't even heard of it. So to be honest,
oh come on,
I'm serious. I don't even know what that is. But I've been doing the bingo thing. I've actually really taken to the bingo thing. It's a thing we talked about last time where we were a little off on the ratio thing going up based on the achievement. It just goes up 0.05 each time. That's the correction there. But I've really enjoyed it. Like, I don't know if you've looked on the leaderboard, but I'm like really high up there. I was like, I think 30th, not too long ago.
Oh wow,
yeah.
I didn't realize you were that high up. That's cool.
Yeah. I've I don't know. I just needed a change of pace from all the beat 'em ups, and so I have all these unfinished games on my tag. Unfortunately, a lot of them are preloads, and so I don't want to blow all my preloads. But a lot of those would satisfy the requirements that I need. But I'm still kind of going through it. But I am blowing through one preload that was a delicious preload on it. Which is,
oh man, what are you gonna do for G-Task?
Well, it's purposeful in the sense that it's a Cartwriter drift, and it's Cartwriter drifting away. Its servers are going down at the end of February, so it's not going to be any good to me. It's no good to me dead. But it's hard. If you go look at my page, you'll see why I'm so torn up on this. If you go look at my Kart Rider Drift page on TA, you'll see my preloads, and they're all just gonna go away. So many beautiful points.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had them all like 99%, and I've already blown several of them. And I mean, we're talking like 9 ratio stuff here, and it was a great game for that. But
are you gonna be okay? Like, real question here.
it's tough.
You gonna make it through this? Okay.
At least I
come out the other side there, buddy.
At least I get to use them in a contest. They would have wanted it that way.
That's
so
they die doing what they were made for.
Right. Unlike that stupid Friday the 13th game, I was just I got nothing for that. Yeah, this one, at least I'll get a few letters out of it. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I can get to like the 3rd grid before I pop them, or use them on my 2nd grid. I'm on my 2nd grid, but I'm almost halfway through it, and I got 3 of them that would work on this one. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. It's more enjoyable than I thought it would be, and it's cool to play some of these games that I hadn't played in forever that have moderately high ratios on them, like Swim Sanity. I hadn't thought about that game in forever, but it has a bunch of V achievements on it and things like that.
It's also nice to see you play something that isn't in the beat 'em up genre.
Yeah. Well, I got burned on the last beat 'em up I played, so
that's pretty rare these days.
Yeah. Well, if they keep making beat 'em ups like the last one I played, woo, I may have to that
might be done things. Chasing the
Yeah.
title there.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really worried about Heart and Slash now that you pointed that out for me. Oh man. Oh man. I hope it's not.
Because it's made by your favorite team.
Indeed. But anyway, yeah, that's all I had. I just enjoying bingo, so I don't know if anybody else is enjoying it as much as I am, but it's been a good time for me.
Right. That sounds more like an update than gaming news, but whatever.
It's still underway.
As far as milestones go, I don't have any, man. I try. I look every week. I'm like, I'm gonna share something just really, really cool.
Oh, okay.
On this section of the podcast, and I just there's just nothing worthy, man.
Nothing.
Not to diminish anyone's achievements, but it needs to really just really impress me, and I'm just not seeing it, you guys.
I have one for you. My friend Mechanic Arms is now number 1 on the Hypocrite leaderboard. That's right.
Oh, what's that mean?
You go to Mr. Mechanic Arms page, there's a little, you click on him, and it says his status is, I love minor games, which I assume he means it's baby games, but I'm going to assume he's not a pedo, but I love minor games.
Phrasing.
Yeah, a little phrasing. He is Japanese, so
oh, all right, okay.
Yeah, for someone that loves minor games so much, why is it that he is, one of those who always rates things on the crappy TA rating system? Well, if he really loved minor games, it seems that he would not give Penguin Flight 0.5 stars, Fall Asleep 0.5 stars, and Super Jagger Bomb Go East 0.5 stars. And then I started thinking, well, this has kind of been a pattern. It seems like he's always doing this. Well, yes, I did a little more research. So Mr. Mechanic Arms has 5,600 games that he's played. Would you like to take a guess how many of those he ranked a 5, not a 0.5, but a 5?
How many?
Out of 5,600.
5,600. How many do you rank a 5? I'm going to say 5575.
Okay, you're in the right ballpark. He has ranked 100, give or take. I'm rounding here. 100 games, 5. Now.
Oh, what ballpark are you in?
Now, how many of these 5,600 games do you think Mr. I Love Minor Games has rated a 0.5?
Oh, wait, did I hear this backwards? That's the 5575 that I meant to say. Are the other 5,500 0.5?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying 55 to 75, like 55-ish, 75-ish.
Oh, no, I'm saying like nearly all of them.
Okay, no. Okay, so, all right, let me try this again. 5,600 games. 100 of them he's ranked a 5. So,
yeah.
Very small port. And was that 5%, maybe? I think something. maybe
I don't know, 100 of what would 10% would be 560, so 1% would be 56, so 2%.
2%. Okay, 2% of the games has been rated a 5. Now, how many do you suppose? I mean, you already guessed 5,500, so I mean,
Yeah.
anything I say is not going to sound anything near what you. Okay, well, I'll just tell you, 2,210-ish games out of 5,600. That's a lot of his games, and 2,200 out of 5,600 games, you're going to give a point 5, and you're going to put "I love minor games" as your status. Like, what is that? Like, to me, that screams, little douchebag. But anyway, for me, I didn't want people to say that I was going to take him over on the hypocrite leaderboard. So I wanted to make sure that my rating system was all set because I don't rate many games. So I have 2,800 games. And I looked at mine. It didn't take as long to go through mine because of the 2,800, I have 60 ranked a 5. So I'm almost up there with him. He got 100. I got 60. However, he has 2,200 rated 0.5. I have 4.
Wait, you only have 4? You've never rage rated a game 0.5?
I did 4 times. So I feel like less is more here. Like if I give it a 0.5, then I must really not like that game.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, what are we supposed to believe? Mr. I love minor games really hates those 2,200 games. Like, come on, get over yourself. Like Mechanic Arms do better. I don't know. I'm debating unfriending him over this. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going with he only does 5 or 0.5. So like 100 games are 5, everything else 0.5. That's where I
I mean,
thought
might
you were
as
going.
well. He might as well. I mean, 2,200. Like, I don't know,
Shoot.
man. Like, he has to be like number 1 on the leaderboard of person that has rated the most games 0.5. I can't imagine anybody has rated more games 0.5 than him. I mean, he plays a lot of games. He's got like 4 million gamer scores. It's just weird. That's all. Like, you think he would, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm done with you, Mechanic Arms.
Okay. Well,
I bet you I know who's not coming to Achievement Fest this year.
Jeez, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something. Well, on that, geez, man, Mechanic Arms. On that note, I don't even know. I have no transition from that. So that's the end of the show. And thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Check us out in all the usual places. Class dismissed, yada yada. Y'all know that we're about to do a top 3.
Class dismissed.
Elroy, how good are your editing skills? Top 3 one-liners from Bulletstorm. Number 3, what the happy horse is this? Number 2, I've got a glass of scotch and I'm furiously fiddling with my in anticipation of your arrival. And number 1, you can suck the tears off my you ugly mud
Top 3 things missing from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. Number 3, Krang. Number 2, Shredder. Number 1, Fun.
Wow. Oh, man. In case you cannot use that one. Well then, top 3 fighting game franchises that really, really need a new entry. Number 3, Instinct. Number 2, Dead or Alive. And number 1, Caliber, please.
Very nice. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
See ya.
What is the most ghetto high school in Tennessee? At number 1, it is Craigmont High School in Memphis.